Lamar Odom should be probably more grateful. He beat death probably multiple times. He beat death. And this is what you're doing. You can rail against the Kardashians if you want, but the one sister saved his life. He helped save his life, was there for him. Lamar Odom tries to downplay Khloé Kardashian saving his life. Here's what he said during a recent interview.
So in the documentary, you said something about, you like the lifestyle. Was there love there too, or was it just the lifestyle?
No, it was definitely a lot of love there. We decided to get married after 30 days, and their mother was able to put a beautiful wedding together, and I don't regret it.
No, I have to say, after watching this documentary, she stood by your side. She saved your life. Do you feel that way?
In some ways, God saved my life. My Lord saved my life, honestly.
To put it in perspective, you talked about that night and that picture that we just saw. In Vegas, you suffered 12 strokes, 6 heart attacks. You were in a coma for 3 days. In the documentary, it talks about the fact that Khloé stepped in, tried to keep everybody out so that you could just get better, and she stayed by your side
for 4 months.
For 4 months. After filing for divorce. When you look back on that time, I have to say a lot of us were saying, you know what, Khloé, she rode hard for you.
Yeah, she did. She took care of me, but God took care of me the most.
She revealed that your dad wanted to take you off life support.
I was knocked out and sleep at that time, but if you know Joe Odom, I don't think that's something that would ever come out of his mouth.
You weren't asleep, you were in a coma for 3 days. And Khloé Kardashian was ride or die. She rode for you and you didn't die. And I get it. Then she left, it's over, and you can't get back in. And now, it's time to minimize the woman's sacrifice. We got it. Lamar Odom is back in the hot seat online, and this time it all revolves around his comments about his ex-wife, Khloé Kardashian. Even the dig about the mom put on a beautiful wedding. Come on, Lamar. And his own father. Khloé had already filed for divorce from Lamar when he overdosed on cocaine, alcohol, cannabis, and a Las Vegas brothel, October 13th, 2015, as well as ruptured kidneys, collapsed lung. Lamar suffered 6 heart attacks, as you heard, 12 strokes, in a coma, 3 days. When Lamar eventually woke up, it was Khloé who remained by his side throughout his 4-month recovery, helping him learn how to walk and talk again. This is after Odom had multiple affairs during their marriage. This is all depicted in the Netflix documentary. Now, in the doc, Kardashian looked back on the relationship and the part she played by unintentionally enabling Odom while he was dealing with his drug abuse in an effort to protect him. In particular, she detailed how she would clean up behind him in hotel rooms, specifically getting rid of spoons and tinfoil to keep the cleaning staff from selling a story and discovering his issues. She also said that she'd often look for him in alleys and motels, knowing that he was somewhere getting high. I was such an enabler without knowing I was an enabler, she said. Kardashian also cited his family trauma as a form of rationale for his behavior and explained that she felt she had a responsibility to try to fix him and love him enough so he'd choose differently. I remember just keeping all these secrets and feeling horrible about myself, she said. She later added, I was fighting every single day either to protect him, to not let him get caught, which sounds insane. I didn't sleep for years. August 2013, Kardashian staged an intervention with Odom, giving him the ultimatum. He had to choose his addiction or his marriage, even though she wasn't ready to end the relationship. However, based off encouragement from her friends, she was confident that given the high stakes, it would be enough for the basketball star to wake up and get his act together. Sadly, that wasn't the case. I was advised to do this intervention, and the interventionist said, you're going to go in there and tell him you need to go to rehab, and if you don't stay for a 3-month program, you're going to say you're getting a divorce, Kardashian explained in the doc. She later said, everyone around me was like, he'll never say he wants a divorce. We do the intervention. I give my speech. And he was like, okay. All I want is my passport. And yeah, let's get the effing divorce. I was like looking around like, wait, I don't want the divorce. You guys, interventionalists, the interventionist, told me I have to say this. Lamar left immediately, was like, we're getting the effing divorce, and I'm never coming back here again. Kardashian claims that although she and the former NBA star were in the middle of a divorce at the time, she quickly went to be by his side at the hospital because they were still legally married and she still cared for his well-being. However, once she arrived, she claimed Odom's now late father, Joe, who was a longtime heroin addict who left him when he was younger, had popped back into the picture and was present there as well. Per her recollection of that time, Kardashian claimed Odom's dad was trying to take him off of life support and that she had to step in and let him know that she would make medical decisions on his behalf. What's more, the reality TV star said that after giving him a pair of Nike shoes and $100, Joe left and never came back. After all this, you would think this traumatic event would bring Kardashian and Odom closer, but sadly, that wasn't the case. Determined to see him through betterment, Kardashian shared that 4 months after he got out of the hospital, she rented a home with a caregiver and a chef in order to help him ease back into his regular life. However, when she randomly decided to visit him and check on his progress, she caught him in the act of smoking crack once again. Once you know the smell of crack, it's the most identifiable, disgusting smell, and there's nothing you can confuse it with. And I remember stopping by the house and I smelled crack. He was in the bedroom, sitting on the edge of the bed, smoking crack. And I just punched him in the face, Kardashian explained. That proved to be her breaking point, with her expressing to the now disgraced ball player how frustrated and betrayed she felt in that moment. I just put my life on hold to effing take care of you. How did you get this? You don't have a effing phone. You can't talk. You recalled her yelling at the time in the doc. Well, lo and behold, he had a phone. He was better than I knew. He was playing me so I can continue this lifestyle for him. I said, by Monday, you need out of this house. I'm done. I'm not paying for a thing, and I never want to speak to you again. Folks online were quick to call out the former NBA player for casting doubt on Kardashian, essentially making her out to be a liar, and instead choosing to believe his father. I love Lamar, but I need him to be honest. Khloé wouldn't lie about what his dad said. He exhibited the same behavior on their show, said another. Another person expressed, what reason would Khloé have to lie against his dad? This man pisses me off, man. One other user also noted, after everything she's done, listen to how he talks about her, even going as far as suggesting she's a liar. Men don't deserve anything, especially not your sacrifices. Women, stop doing that. The guy has no remorse, no sincere apology, nothing at all. So there's some people who can't get past the K word, Kardashian, and think that, no, they're just always out for attention. But if you took the name out of it and just said, and now don't take the name out of it, this woman did this and did the right thing and sacrificed for this man who, yes, has a disease and addiction, but is also an absolute clown, a joke, and a shell of integrity. That's what he is. And this is a sick story. And may his father rest in peace, but he absolutely did exactly what Khloé Kardashian said he did. And the fact that Lamar Odom, who's out peddling whatever he's peddling, and has something now because Khloé Kardashian preserved it, including his life, can't even bring himself and is hiding behind God, who did save him. That's what you believe. His stomach turning to me. Real sicko behavior. Your turn.
Yeah, I haven't watched the documentary yet, but I am familiar enough with the story. And I was going to say that I don't actually have strong feelings about the Kardashians, but I do. Like, of course I do. I mean, I'm not a fan of theirs. I don't watch their show. I do think society will generally be better once they're finally irrelevant, if and when that ever happens. They're obviously billionaires who are involved with some very questionable people, with some very questionable things. Maybe they stole Britney Spears' money, et cetera, et cetera. But I think of all of them, Khloé is probably not the worst one. And I do feel bad for her in this very particular context. She does seem like someone who really did put her life on hold for this man. And I don't know this firsthand, but anyone can imagine that dealing with and loving an addict is not for the faint of heart. Even if you've just seen movies about it, like you can see that, they are very manipulative people. Maybe they didn't start off that way, but that is just a symptom of addiction. And it can be very, very difficult to deal with. Lamar Odom is now healed and better, but perhaps he has more healing to do outside of his physical body. Maybe like there's still some wounds there that he needs to address and deal with. If he can't, like whatever happened between him and Khloé, I don't really know the details of that, and I'm not interested to know. But whatever did happen, like credit where it's due should still be given, right? She did stay by your side during all of that. She did prevent someone from pulling the plug on you, all of these things. And yeah, I don't see why she would lie about something like that, especially when there's enough material. Even without that little tidbit of information, if she wanted to talk and go get attention from the press over all of this, she could still do that, right? Like it's already a story, it's already a documentary, like that one little tidbit isn't significant enough for her to just like make that up. So, and again, this is Khloé we're talking about. She rarely is making headlines for things, she's not the of all the Kardashian Jenners, she's not the one who's always out there at events grabbing headlines, walking on red carpets. It's just, she's not that one. So, she did this and she wanted to have a family. I think she did love this person. And, like, I'm not going to take something from someone when they did actually do something or try to do something good for somebody else. So this is a crazy take from Lamar Odom. And it's weird that he's going around publicly saying this when everyone saw what was happening. We were more lucid through that whole time than he was. So like, everybody else knows better what was going on than he did during that time.
Yeah. Khloé perhaps is similar to her sisters in one way, and you can tell when they're walking away from you. But other than that, she seems to be a truth teller and ride or die. Hell, I still remember the episode where Kim came over and Lamar said something to her, and she instantly was in confessional saying, Lamar has a cavity. He smelled his breath. So, it was crazy times, crazy show, crazy marriage, and crazy life or death
that's
experience.
been interesting. I mean, I do want to clarify something that I said, though. I don't mean to imply that like we know more about his situation than he does, but it's still just like, why wouldn't he listen to what she's telling him in this particular instance? I just want to clarify that.
His story, you're right. You said it correctly. And she has a right, I think, because normally I say, well, do you want to even speak on this? Why are you doing the documentary? But you know what? Then I thought about it. It's her story too. He's the principal. She's if not the main character, she is definitely a recurring guest star.